Hello, and welcome everybody to another episode of r/ProRevenge. My name's Ryan, the official host here at Reddit Voice, and I look forward to bringing you guys today's top stories. Before I do though, you know the drill. I'd really appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button and that notification bell to stay up to date on all the latest videos. After months of putting up with my roommate from hell, I got the revenge of a lifetime and screwed her out of a lot ton of money and got her to pay rent, and life has never been sweeter. This is a long one, but very much worth the ride, so buckle up. Also, English isn't my native language. Sorry if there are any mistakes. This story takes place a couple of years back. During college, I lived with several roommates. All of them were nice and we got along well, except for this one big unpleasant lady. Let's call her Karen. If Satan and Hitler had a child, and that child had a child with Stalin and Cruella de Vil, that would be Karen for you. She is a loudmouthed, stupid, egocentric, big, unpleasant lady who has the face that scares very badly out of a toilet. She would never clean up after herself. She would always leave her plates and things at the spot where she last used them. I've lost count of how many times I caught her stealing my clothes without asking, and if you so much as touch her clothes, she will lose her crap on you. I hope I can say crap. Or her drinking our lactose-intolerant roommate's almond milk, and anytime we confronted her for drinking it, she would shrug and say, "I only had a sip. Stop being so stingy." She plays her music loud at night, invites strangers without giving any heads up. A time or two she didn't even pay rent, even though her parents are filthy rich, and she's wearing a Gucci and Prada shirt. Karen also lies about everything, even things that aren't worth lying about. Like if she woke up 7 and you ask her, she'll lie through her teeth and say she rose with the sunrise because she is a natural. P.S. This is something I actually heard her say to her parents while she was Skyping them. So cringy. Who the heck says that? But I digress. Months we have fun. This one's actually just straight up a bleep. I'm sure you guys are probably sick of the gag by now. King put up with her. Of course we tried to get other roommates, but unfortunately when we all moved in, all documents and contracts were done in her name, so kicking her out would require a lot of effort, and most of us were busy with school and work and life happens. So we ignore it as much as we can and try to move on. We are all now seniors and on our final semesters, meaning graduation was coming, and Karen's planning a backpack trip across Europe with her friends as a graduation gift to herself. This is important, so remember this. One of our roommates and my closest friend, Sasha, has had a crush on a guy that lives down the hall. Anytime the two of them are together, Sasha and the guy keep giving each other googly eyes and blushing faces. It was so cute. Sasha is a verbal autistic person and has never dated anyone because she has a hard time with socializing and understanding social cues and subtlety, which, let's face it, that is the core of dating, especially flirting, but with lots of encouragement from me and the final roommate Lola, we got her to ask him out. He said yes. She was so happy, you guys. She flew back into the apartment and did an hour of happy dance with her arms flailing about and a poop-eating grin on her face. Needless to say, we were all so happy. Karen caught wind of this, and it just so happens that at the time, she was having relationship problems. I guess her boyfriend finally realized he's dating human garbage. Not one to be outshined, Karen, behind all of our backs, went to the guy's place and spun lies about Sasha, saying she's a serial cheater and even made a fake account for Sasha's so-called boyfriend. The guy never called Sasha, and eventually, weeks passed by, he told us why, but by then, Sasha felt like the damage was done and lost interest in him. I was absolutely furious. This level of dickery and bloody pettiness is the straw that finally broke the camel's back. And I vowed I wouldn't leave until I served my slice of justice. Here's another character that you must know about. Professor C. His wife 2 years ago was in a horrible car accident and as a result in a wheelchair. This is especially problematic because she was a stay-at-home mom that took care of their 2 special needs kids and they have a toddler at home. Home life is a mess for him. He's running ragged between working and single-handedly is taking care of his family. The uni took pity and also featured the workload would see one of their best and most beloved teachers leave the school, struck a deal with him to help him out. In all of his classes, there will be quizzes and midterms. This doesn't change, but assignments you submit and he corrects at the end of the year. This is important because our uni has a zero tolerance on professors that don't constantly update the students' courseworks so that students have the chance to improve their grades. Karen, the lazy, stupid bitch she is somehow skating through his assignments, even though they require a ton of research and writing. I accidentally learned that one of her older friends told her that she only needs to submit the paper on its due date and to only write the first 3 pages and use a paraphrase tool for the rest of the paper. So, plagiarism software won't detect it and it would think it's original material. And when the end of the year comes, submit a hard copy but with the first pages being her actual work and the rest being completely plagiarized professional work. Professor C won't know, cause the likelihood that a man is busy and him thoroughly checking the work of 120 plus students is pretty low. I grinned. A plan was beginning to formulate in my head. Oh, sweet mother of Jesus! She is going down. All semester long, I let her do this for all of the 7 papers. One of them, which is a term paper that has 20% on it alone. All the while, I spied and gathered all of her passcodes, social media, her student ID, everything. The end of the year came up, and I compiled all of her assignments. Both the original one with the paraphrasing tools she used to circumvent plagiarism, and the one she finally handed them in. I even made photos that were side-to-side comparisons of the assignments. This is a good start, but not enough. So one day, chillin' at the living room, I open a conversation about relationships. Karen is two-timing her new boyfriend and is sleeping with some mystery man. So I ask her questions like, don't you feel guilty for cheating? And don't you realize this is wrong? I even paraphrase my words in a way that's vague but also clear. For example, I would say, it's not fair. So many people work so hard every day to be successful, and you are here cheating and lying your way to success. Karen is narcissistic as fuck and would respond with snippets of I don't care and how she isn't cheating. She's only having fun and that everyone does it, so why not her too? This is too good to be true. Even her answers are vague. It's like God put his hand on my shoulder, looked me right in my eyes and said, bury this woman. And I'd be damned if I didn't. As you probably have guessed it by now, I was recording everything. The recording, plus the photos and her assignments were more than enough evidence. I sent an anonymous, I can't say anonymous apparently, email to the professor, and I tell the girls that they can prep for the shitstorm that's coming. 3 weeks later, results are out. She failed and lost it. She was screaming, crying, and wailing. What a sight to see. You best believe the girls and I were laughing. She tried to talk to the professor, but he wasn't having it. She cried and begged for a second chance, but he had a hard no. So now she has 2 options. She goes ahead and doesn't graduate with us and takes a whole nother semester for one measly course, or take summer course and cancel her trip to Europe, which mind you, she spent a lot of money on. Something like $13,000, and I know it could have been much cheaper, but Princess Karen only wanted the best. So the next couple of weeks, she spent sleepless nights because she was calling and canceling all of the reservations she made, trying to get her money back, but, again, God really was out for blood that day.
Come on, baby, deliver the knockout.
Because the cancellation was so close to her trip, most places refused to refund, or some charged her cancellation fees. She only managed to scrap 5.5K back together, losing 7.5K. Ouch. It's not over. Having damning evidence, I, with earned gusto, told her she was going to pay all of the bills till we moved out, which was in 2 months. Payback for all the times she was late on payment or defaulted and said she would now do her part for the house chores, or else I'm going to send it to the admin and faculty dean where she will also be kicked out and all of the uni years will have been for nothing. She hated it. She threw tantrums and cussed me out, but my God, if she didn't do what's told. She cleaned her stuff, apologized to Sasha for what she did. I forced her to come clean to her boyfriend. Don't know the guy, but the few times I met him, he was super sweet to us, and I felt bad for the guy. I watched her actually do the dishes for the first time in what felt like years, and it was amazing. I don't regret it one bit. Anytime I feel sad now as an adult, I kick back my feet and reminisce about a slow... I'm running out of ways to bleep curse words, but a nice poop-eating grin drew itself upon my face. TLDR, roommate was super mean. I found out she was cheating on her assignments, and so I snitched on her, and as a result, she had to stay the summer and retake the class again, or else she wouldn't graduate. Edit 1, grammar and spelling. Edit 2. Okay, so I posted the story, went to sleep, and holy guacamole, I didn't expect this to blow up this much. I'm gonna answer some recurring questions so I don't have to repeat myself over and over again. Why didn't I report her to the admin in the first place? Well, I was kind of hoping Professor C would do that on my behalf, but for reasons I have no idea for, he only failed her. I'm guessing to save his own ass, and didn't say stuff like, while I hate Karen, I don't actually have the heart to expel someone from school. I know, I'm weak for it, and she did cheat, but I really don't think I can go through with it. What happened to Sasha? She and the guy never got together. She took a bit of a break, but over the summer she briefly met someone for like 2 months before they decided it wasn't going to work out. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened to her since then. Sure, we tried to keep contact, but we both were job hunting, trying to adult, and along the way lost all contact. However, this post made me nostalgic for my old friend. I reached out and she's doing well. We didn't talk much since it's been a little over 4 years, but she is doing fine and works and is still single. Why did I spy? Because I need her passcodes for the assignment reports. I don't know where she stored them and I figured it'd be thorough. And if you don't think you can actually get someone's passcodes in 4 months, someone that lives with you 24/7 and that you see all the time, then buddy, you need to pay attention. Half the time I saw her passcodes accidentally. Also, I recorded her because, like I mentioned earlier, Karen is a serial liar. It wouldn't surprise me if she makes up some sob story to get out of punishment. I took the recordings as an extra security blanket. Professor C was a pretty chill dude, and lots of older and current students have him on Facebook, and when his wife got into a car accident, they were families and friends posting things like, "Pray for Professor C's significant whoever got into this accident," or "Thoughts and prayers with you guys." And his kids having special needs have never been a secret. He brings them up in stories quite often and shares lots of articles and posts on Facebook about special needs kids. And he posts pictures of his family. You have no idea how much info people put on the internet, bruh. Lately, I'm not, and will probably not be for the foreseeable future, be ever sorry for the blackmail. This is someone that cheated us out of our rent money, stole our clothes and food, didn't do house chores and broke my friend's heart, and was a cheating girlfriend. And overall, shitty person. She got everything she deserved. If anything, she should have been kicked out of uni, but I didn't go there. If y'all wanted some fairy tale story where I sat down with Karen and we had a long talk, and at the end of it we both came to the realization that we judged each other too harshly, then no, that's not happening. Sharing this story has been extremely fun, and although I didn't respond to most of your comments, I'm busy, and honestly there's like 200 of y'all. Rest assured, I've read them, and some of the comments have me wheezing for air. You guys rock. Also, I really appreciated the comments praising my English. Thank you, I worked really hard on it, and to sound native, I've consumed a ton of American media to get as close as possible, and I think it finally paid off. Cheers. Cheat on me, and no one goes on vacation. My ex and I used to go to a Cancun resort every year with a bunch of our mutual friends. I found out my ex was cheating on me when I accidentally got a flight confirmation email that he booked tickets for himself and the other girl. It was rough, tried to have a civil breakup, but he refused to pay me for the Cancun vacation that I had already prepaid. I tried to get my money back, but he refused. After our breakup, it took me several weeks to find a new place to live and move my things out of his house. On the last trip to the house, I asked him one last time for the money and he again refused. So I accidentally packed his current passport in my last box of things and left my expired passport in its place. Since he already booked the tickets, he apparently didn't check the passport until he was at the airport and was denied the international flight because he didn't have a current passport. I never did get my money, but I did get immense satisfaction knowing that he didn't get to go on vacation. Update. I gave the passport back a couple weeks later when I discovered it in a box of things to unpack. So weird, right? He asked for a refund for the flights and I told him I would be happy to if he refunded me for the resort, which was much more expensive. He declined. And with that, my friends, we've reached the end of today's top stories. If you liked them, be sure to leave a like on the video and also subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest. As always, my name's Ryan, the official host here at Reddit Voice, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.